All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out and being part of this talk session. I represent Minds and Machines for this event, and we have close to 25 top-level domains. It's for a very strategic reason that we chose to talk about .London to the audience in India, and I'll cover why we are doing that. So some background about what is .London and who are the founders. So .London was basically launched by London and Partners, also known as LNP. LNP works directly with the Mayor of London and consider them like a marketing agency for the mayor. And all the trade relationships with other countries are handled directly by LNP as far as the City of London is concerned. .London has been very successful as a top-level domain. As you can see, we currently have more than 80,000 registrations. And I would assume that for a top-level domain that is so niche for a city, this is a very good number. Other thing I would like to add is that these numbers were not achieved by really going disruptive in terms of pricing. I mean, if you go online right now, a .London would still cost you around $10 to $15 for a new registration, and the renewals are even higher. But in spite of that, we are still seeing a renewal rate of close to 77% year on year, which again, by far is higher than some of the other TLDs that we see. Also, what LNP does is the money that's collected through registrations is actually spent back in the city, where we promote tourism, students, education. But more importantly, what we also do is we work with a lot of micro SMEs, and we enable them to really establish their business in the City of London. And a lot of these micro SMEs, as I'll cover later, are not originating from UK. There are a lot of other countries, including India, where businesses are now opening shop in the City of London. And we work with most of them to enable them to go out there and do business. Now, before I come to what we do with Indian companies, I think I just want to talk about what is the value proposition of .London. As you can assume, if for a business that's focused on the City of London, focused on local customers, would much rather have a local domain name because it really helps to connect. And I do have an audio-visual later on in which we have some of our key customers talk about the fact that they went for a .London domain name for a reason, and I think I'll cover that later. And also, we are all professionals here. We understand that there are a lot of good names that are still available in new TLD space, and .London again has those options available to you. Now, this is something that I wanted to cover, and it's very interesting as well because we did a lot of research around who is actually buying .London names. Are those individuals or are those mid-sized companies? But what we have seen is that most of these domains were picked up by micro SMEs. And micro SMEs, which I'll cover later, is a huge market, which is untapped right now by anyone. So if you see the size of business is 1 to 9 employees, these are mostly people, a lot of these people are immigrants and known as ENBs, ethnic minorities. And they have set up business, they've given employment to some people, and these are the people who are looking to go out and build a website. These are the people who want an email address, SSL certificates, and all of those services. So this is the reason why I was talking about micro SMEs and why is it relevant today in this discussion is there are 5.7 million micro SMEs that exist today. Right, within the UK. And close to 500,000 of those are basically owned by our ethnic minorities, which includes Indian, Chinese, Bangladeshis, and Pakistanis. This number of 5.7 million is growing by 200,000 every year, year on year. And these are all new companies that are being formed between 1 to 9 employees, and they're looking to go online. Right, so this is the potential that we see in terms of growth in the market. And Indians, we are good in technology. We provide technical services, we provide products, and that is the services segment is the one that is picking up the most within London right now. As you can see, service industry is 74% of all business. And most of this is being run by Indians right now. These are some examples of our customers. I'm just going to pick the first one, this SeriousPig.London. Basically, the founders, they wanted to launch a snack that can go with local beer. And they came up with an idea that really works, and they wanted to start off as a business. When they did that, they come across the fact that, hey, we are catering to people in the city of London, so it makes sense to go for a .London domain name. And that's what they did. And there are a couple of other examples as well. The Strawberry E is basically a tech startup around solar energy. So they make these benches where you can charge your phone through clean energy. There is no pollution. And not just that, there are a lot of established businesses as well. If you look at it, Excel.London is an example of a very big convention center that's using .London name now. And a lot of these health clubs are moving to a .London name. In fact, in my own experience, I've been talking to some of these health clubs and spas and gyms, and they're very excited to really move from a .com or a .co.uk to a .London because it's more specific to the city. Now, these are some of the quotes that we have, right? The reason I brought this up is, if you notice, the one thing that's common across all of these clients that we have is association with the city. The city is like a brand for them. It's similar to how we feel about our own city. Let's say if we are doing a business which is specific to Mumbai, we would want to have a localized domain name. We would want to have our branding which is highly local. So it connects with the right audience, and you come to know very easily that this business is focused on the city of Mumbai. And that's exactly what they're trying to say. This is an audio visual now.
Anthology builds homes for Londoners to live in. We're inspired by the stories of London's communities, the places in which we're privileged to work, and the stories of the changing places that new people will come and live in.
Rise Bakery is a social enterprise that's based at Providence Row, which is a homeless charity based in the East End of London, and we see about 1,500 people a year. We train people up in bakery skills and make deluxe brownies and sell them as corporate gifting in the City of London.
Volta Towers is a pub in the Waterloo area. We are a space not just for drinking, but also an entertainment space where we have food, where we have music and cabaret and magic. It's this kind of community living room.
I think regeneration has to be so much more than just building a home. We take the relationship with the community exceptionally seriously, and we always look to leave a positive legacy behind. And you'll only understand really what sort of legacy will work by talking to and listening to the community.
We've been in serving the community for over 160 years. We're trying to produce a product that our customers want to buy. So having a .London web address, it's an essence of quality to what we do. So having it in our web address when people search for us is really, really important.
The real great reason that we have a .London is that it feels like a higher caliber of venue straight away, and it cements us within London. The .com feels like it could be anywhere. .London, you know where you are and you know the quality of the place you're going to because of the association with London.
I think if you're a small business or a business which is entirely focused on London, having a .London domain name is just common sense.
It puts us all in this kind of like great basket together where we're all friends, essentially. It kind of builds a community of venues, of businesses that can all benefit from the London Association.
If you want to have a slick online presence and have that kind of stamp of quality, then yeah, .London's the way to go.
It makes complete sense to our business. It's really enhanced our standing, I think, with our customers, connects us properly with the city, and I'd recommend that others do the same. We see being .London as part of our DNA.
right. So the reason I wanted to bring this audio-visual in is because, probably it's best to hear from the customers directly as to why they wanted to go for a .London name in the first place. Now, I think most of us here know at least one person today who is in the UK having his or her own business and doing well. And Indians have a knack of starting new businesses within the city of London. And why do they do that? As you can see, the statistics are out here. You have 230 languages in the city of London that are being spoken today. Like, it's very similar to what we see in India everywhere. There is a lot of new focus on technology startups. And most of these startups are being either funded or led by Indian companies and Indian businesses. And that's very relevant for everyone here because we understand that currently a lot of you have a lot of stake in the Indian geography wherein you're doing good business. But when you think of expanding out of India, if I have to ask you, what is the first geography that comes to your mind? Like, the first geography should be a developed country. B, language should not be a barrier. And 3, the ease of business aspect needs to be there. And I think if you keep all of these 3 things in mind, UK and the City of London will at least be in the top 3 options, if not the first option. And that's what I'm trying to connect here, that if you wish to basically move and do business within the UK as a hosting company or as a registrar, it makes sense for you to basically enter the market through a localized domain name. But not just that. I think you will also need a lot of support in terms of having a local presence, connecting with the right people. How do you reach these micro SMEs in the first place? This is where L&P comes into the picture and can help you get there with all the support that you need. This is an example of the London's technology landscape. I think the most important bit here is the 46,000 number, which are basically technology companies that operate from the City of London. And again, all of these companies are tech savvy and they understand the value of a good domain name. Again, a lot of this market is untapped right now. Now, interestingly, when we talk about foreign direct investment into the City of London, it might come as a surprise to you guys, but India is number 3 right now in terms of money coming into the city for investing in businesses. And it is the percentage of business coming from India to the entire Europe is lesser than what we are seeing it going to London. And this goes to show that Indian companies are more comfortable doing business in the City of London. In fact, if you see here, around 50% of all the 800 Indian companies within UK are based out of London. So I'm talking about the bigger companies, they're not the micro SMEs. But most of the micro SMEs as well are based out of the City of London. So these are some further statistics around FDI, trade and investment. And the key takeaway from here is, again, that India has been playing a key role in growing the technology and the business sector in the City of London since a decade now. It's a phenomenon that is only growing. In fact, the other geography that comes close to London is Frankfurt in terms of FDI. So this goes to show that Indian technology companies are the ones that are really going out and opening new businesses in the City of London. And those are the ones who are acquiring new customers. Again, this is data that further boosts our faith in the hosting industry based out of India, that they can really go out there, set up shop, and do business locally with support from London and partners. And if you see ICT, which is information, communications, and technology sector, is by far the biggest, 53%, as far as City of London is concerned. Towards your right, you will see a statistic that's the entire Western Europe. So again, this goes to show that Indian tech companies are focused more on the City of London itself, and it compares to the entire region of Western Europe. Sadiq Khan is currently the mayor of London. He was born in Lucknow, but after the partition, the family moved to Pakistan. But again, he always talks about how Indian businesses and establishments are doing really well and contributing to the City of London. And so London and Partners work directly with Sadiq Khan in terms of new businesses, FDI, relationships, and all of that. So if any one of you are interested in setting up a shop in .London for your hosting business, you can come talk to us. More than that, I think it's not just about going out and starting a new business and competing with local entities. You need an advantage by your side. Now, me being from India, I've been working with Minds and Machines and .London for over a year and a half now. And management is very, very upbeat about the potential of Indian companies and the innovation that they bring to the table. So we are here to basically help you fund those activities as well. So for instance, if you're interested in becoming a priority partner with us for .London names and you want to sell in the city of London, but you need help in terms of marketing funds or wholesale prices that work for you better, we can do all of that. And not just that, we can also help you identify the right affiliate partnerships to go with. So for instance, we currently work with a lot of SME aggregators. These SME aggregators have a reach between 10,000 to 400,000 businesses at any given point of time. A partnership with someone like an SME aggregator would really help you to reach to a wide micro SME audience. And you being as a technology partner can really rake in big numbers. This, again, is a segment that is untapped. This channel has not been tapped by anyone till now. And we are working on it with some local players. But local players are generally more expensive than Indian players because of the resource cost locally. So the reason we are upbeat is because you guys here can actually think on those lines and evaluate whether it makes sense for you to enter into the city of London as businesses. Okay, so apart from .London, I also wanted to quickly touch base on something which is very important as far as Minds and Machines are concerned. So we have launched a blockchain TLD called .Looks. Not sure if you guys are aware of that. So .Looks is basically a top-level domain that can replace the 40-character code that is used for Ethereum transactions. We are supported by Ethereum. We are supported by .ETH as well, the registry for Ethereum domains. And so what we are doing essentially is helping people who are in cryptocurrency to basically exchange coins in a very user-friendly manner. For example, I can have Siddharth.looks, and I can use that in place of the 40-character code that is currently being used for doing transactions. It's something which is completely different from what people are used to do. And currently, we are seeing at least 300,000 pre-registrations coming through just to have defensive registrations in place. And the reason I'm talking about .looks here is because for the India segment, we have shortlisted close to 500 premium names that we are willing to offer at a very good price. So if any one of you are interested to know more about it, I'll be around and help you with any questions that you have. But as of this session, if you have any direct questions, you can ask me now. No questions?
That's fine.
Right. Thank you so much, guys. You've been good.